Since last week's convention, my team and I have waged an aggressive phone banking campaign to secure signatures, pledges, and we received over 600 Norwalk Republican pledges. After talking to hundreds of voters, from party leaders down to everyday Republicans, it's clear that I have joined a party divided, and that is unfortunate because the Bible says a house divided cannot stand. As I've spoken to local and state and even national Republican Party leaders, it's already become clear to me that my skill set and passion are much more valued here than they ever were as a part of the Democratic Party. And my voice is much more amplified in this space. Joining the Republican Party was a mandate from a higher power, and I plan to be a member at the highest level. The Republicans and the Democrats will be having a charity softball game in a couple weeks. That's why I have my charity softball glove here, and I have my ball because we're going to be playing some ball. If anybody saw me last week at our first practice, it was clear that I'm an athlete and I have a skill set and I'm a team player. I've learned early on that we play for the name on the front of the jersey, not the name on the back of the jersey. I've been a team player all my life. I've been a team player as a Democrat, and I'll be a team player as a Republican. That is just who I am. I understand that this Republican team, the mission is much bigger than Darnell Crosland. Being the mayor of Norwalk in 2019 is not the mission of the Republican Party. I understand that. This is about helping to bring leadership to the party on a local and a state level. This is about our future as a city. I didn't join the Republican Party to split it, and I'm not running for mayor because I'm mad at Harry and the Democrats. I'm here to reach across the aisle and to build bridges where there have been deep divides for decades. I'm here to let us reimagine what our leadership will look like in the next decade, and I'm in this for the long haul. I'm here to do what I've always done my entire adult life. The only thing I know to do, represent the people, all the people, and to be of service to my community. What does service look like? Well, 4 years as president for the local NAACP, 7 years on the board of the homeless shelter, and 3 years on the methadone clinic board right here in Washington, in Sono. With that being said, I've decided today, a very exciting day for my campaign, for the city of Norwalk, and for Republicans as a whole, to suspend my campaign for mayor, and I'll be endorsed by the RTC to run for common council at large, even though I know I would have won the primary and went on to win the general election. It's the best thing for the Norwalk, it's the best thing for the party, and we don't have to worry about spending money as Norwalkers on a primary, because as a team together, I'm going to suspend this campaign and march forward with the Republican support and join City Council. We're going to take over City Council, and we're going to continue to defend the issues that affect Norwalk. Because it is the best decision for the Republican Party and the best way to assure that we the people take back City Hall, I'm making this decision today. We are stronger together, and that divide that I talked about, we can balance that divide. We know that there's a lot of wisdom in the Republican Party, but with wisdom comes age, and with age comes wisdom, and I think they're not mutually exclusive. But last night we had a great training. Kelly was there. We had a great training about how to use social media, how to bring new, younger energy to the party, and how to get out our voice as Republicans. So with the wisdom that we have, matched with the young skill set that we're going to have, I think this party is going to be energized and on the way. I hope to be a part of the healing process, to initiate that healing process of the local and national party. Our focus is delivering a winning slate, and I will still be running as a candidate at large, and that will boost this entire city. The pending issues that we've been talking about leading up to today still exist. We have those same issues to deal with as a council member, like the bad mall deal, the POCO project, and Harry's conspiring to bail out big banks. Those issues aren't going away. And as a council member, I'll address those issues. We're not going to have Harry and his group conspire to leave us with the big bills while they have big bailouts. The walk bridge, if you look to my left, that's a big issue that's going to affect many people. We're going to be fighting that issue. We're going to be speaking about how that issue affects and impacts the very business that we stand before. Washington Prime, a great Norwalk restaurant. I've spoken to the owner of Washington Prime about the issues that affect this restaurant. The disruption that's going to happen with this walk bridge is going to affect this restaurant. When the mall is open and all the people are eating fast foods at the Chinese store in the mall, it's going to affect this restaurant. When people can't get to this restaurant because of traffic, it's going to affect this restaurant. So if you enjoy this day sitting on this deck, remember, this day is a day that's going to be affected by the decisions of our current administration. And there's no way around that. We'll fight to make sure that those issues are addressed as a part of Common Council. The marathon continues. These are issues that need fixing, and we'll fix them. So as my slogan says, let's fix it. Let's come together to fix it. Let's make sure that all of us are part of this sorority and a part of this fraternity. And if there's anybody who's giving us slack and you feel unwanted, we should bound together and make sure that everybody feels wanted. You shouldn't walk in any room and not feel wanted. And you shouldn't have to guess why you don't feel wanted. You should feel wanted. And if you feel that people are making you feel unaccepted, then don't ask yourself about how you feel. Ask them why are they making you feel that way. And that's what this comes down to. And that's what this Republican Party is about. We're not going to walk in and have people walk in our rooms and think that there's racists in here, that the boogeyman is in the Republican room. I said that from the beginning. Everybody in the Democrat has said, how can you join the Republican Party? There's boogeymen in that room. And I said that from the beginning. There's great people in that room. Do some people have old, antiquated thoughts? Yes, they do. Do I feel uncomfortable sometimes? Yes, I do. But when all of us in here say no to those people, we're going to have a great Republican Party that stands for what Abraham Lincoln stood for. These are the issues that need fixing. So I thank you all. We are more excited today than ever, and we will fly these banners that you see behind us in some near future. But today, we're going to stand together as a strong council, and we're going to make sure that the mayor's voice hears our voice first. So with that said, I want to thank a couple of people that helped us get to this party. I want to thank all my family and friends who volunteered and donated their time. If anybody knows, I've said it before, running for office is the most loneliest place. You spend your own money, and you spend a lot of time by yourself. I want to thank Mark D'Amelio for being a starch advocate for this campaign. Mark, thank you. And as we all know, that when you campaign, there's a lot of rocks that are thrown, there's a lot of advocacy going on, but when the campaign is over, when decisions are made like the one today, we can come together and heal. So Mark, thank you for stepping out there, and I know you had some bruises, and I know some hugs are gonna be having to be given to you, and you have to give some hugs in the future, so thank you. I wanna thank John Romano. John Romano sits right here with us today. John is somebody I met when I started this campaign. I went to his house, and John is rough. John makes a lot of comments. I call John Archie Bunker from the old television show. But one thing I can tell you, Archie Bunker he might be in his views and his comments, but one thing that John is not a bad person. We joke, we laugh, we make comments that whites and blacks can make together and feel comfortable. Suda, who stands to my left, as 15-year defense attorney, Suda and I went at it left and right. But this is what this campaign is about. We sat at John's house yesterday, and I thought that would never, ever, ever happen. But we stood there and laughed, and we joked. I made a joke with John. I said, John, I should jump in your pool so you have to drain it. And we all had a good laugh about that. But that doesn't make John a bad person. John is just Archie Bunker, and I love John. And that's what this campaign is going to do, change the way we look at things. Blacks and whites, Spanish, Latino, Asian, there's not one race in this campaign or in this city. We're the United States of America, and we're going to stay united and have fun. Kelly Stranidi, I want to thank you for all your harsh, strong advocacy in the state central. I mean, I know you drive so far and you drive so long, many hours. I talked to JR, and he tells me how hard you work, and I want to thank you for that. When I first came a part of this Norwalk political scene, I saw Kelly running for mayor. I didn't know her from a hole in the wall. And just like I went up to Mark D'Amelio when I didn't know him, and he was a Republican, I was a staunch Democrat. I said, I like you, I like what you're doing. Kelly could attest, I didn't even know her, and she was a Republican. And I said, I like your style, the way you talk, the way you dress, the way you lead. And that's what leadership should look like. And so I mock myself behind those people. And those are two people I went up to when I was a Democrat and they were Republican, and they could attest to that. Isn't that right? So we stand here today just building on that vibe that we had. So this is not fake or based on any rhetoric. This is based on people who love each other. I want to thank the 9 people that were at the convention who voted for me, who I don't know because it was a closed ballot. Those people voted for me, and I want to thank those people. I want to thank the entire RTC for taking a chance and saying we can take back council. So when you told me I should do this in the beginning, I said, no, I'm going to stay running for mayor. When you told me that we shouldn't split the ticket, I said, no, we're going to run for mayor. I already printed banners. I already spent money. But when I talked to you more independently, I realized this was the best thing to do. And so I want to thank the entire RTC for that. I want to thank Jared Davina, who's a third-year law student working in my office, and she's there hammering away. She also worked on the campaign. I want to thank my treasurer, Steve Somerton. I want to thank Tommy Burns, who came to my office and my house every single day at the beginning of this campaign to create the logos. Mark helped create the logos, to create the message. These are people I didn't know. And Mark brought Tommy to Greg's house, a friend of mine, and said, this is Tommy. I never met Tommy before. And I know Tommy's taking flack from people saying, why are you defending this guy? Why are you working with this guy? And Tommy's giving that message that he's worth it, and I am worth it. I could sit on that council, I could research those issues, and I could make sure that the LDA and all the other agreements are read properly. As an attorney, I can do that. And so I can do that. I won't let you down. I could be on that council, and I could do that council well. So let's put our personalities to the side. Let's get people who are talented, who are trained to work, who's given service, and let's fix Norwalk. Thank you very much.